What is going on, everybody? It is the Going Over Big Time podcast. I am Mike Charlip, and I am joined once again by my friend and co host, Alan the Cantastic. And today, we are going to be reviewing AEW Dynasty 2026. Alan, how are you doing?
I'm fine. We're just talking about a bunch of other wrestling stuff,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
didn't tell you about this particular show. Um, to be honest, I bought this Dynasty other than two very specific parts. It was kind of a store. To be honest, I don't know if that's just my Canadian bias working in here,
I would
but I
say.
was like, I would say it is, and I don't. I have no qualms about letting people know that throughout this whole review here. It's just that I was like, other than the one bright light of a Canadian going over,
Yeah.
this whole thing was a bit of a snooze fest. And
I don't.
frankly, I will expect future Dynamite slash Collision slash the next pay per view to be more substantive because this was almost just like we needed to put something together in April. This is it. There we go.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed this show. There was a couple of things on here that I was like, we're doing that. Okay. But overall, I did enjoy the show. I'm not saying it's like the best show of the year. It definitely isn't. But there was a lot of good wrestling on this show. Um, and yeah, there was a couple of things which we will get into, which I was either disappointed or questioning, but we will get to those things. So this card, I mean, was 13 matches, which uh, four of which were on the pre-show. So a nine-match pay-per-view is something that doesn't happen very often in AEW, and it still ended at 12:30 at night.
Oh,
Starting at 8 o'clock. They really should start these pay per views at 7. Like,
earlier, like at 6:30. I don't care.
yeah,
Like put it to a time. You're gonna do it on a Sunday night.
but yeah,
People have work.
especially if it's
Yeah,
going to be on a Sunday. If you're going to be on
yeah,
Sunday, you should definitely go on at like you said, like 6 o'clock. Because if you're going to do a 4.5 hour show, if it starts at 6, it ends at 10:30. That's perfect. Like,
yeah.
but
You can
instead,
do your press conference because they do one every time, or the post show media scrum,
yeah.
and you'll have it all done by midnight instead of like waiting till like 1 a.m. in the morning for these people to
Oh
scrum
yeah.
the Tony Khan and like ask them
Like
questions, have like
I can't
whoever won come on.
I can't imagine going to these shows as press and sitting there for hours just for Tony
Hmm.
just
Yeah, yeah.
ramble. Because that's what
Ramble
he
about how
does.
great everything is. Yeah, ticket
That's
sales are through the
he doesn't
roof.
say anything newsworthy at those press conferences. That's why I don't watch
No.
them. Like, it's just rambling, and people who won on the show do getting interviewed or getting asked questions. So it's yeah. But if you're gonna have these shows on Sundays, they need to be earlier. Like, I don't know why he doesn't like having Saturdays. He only does Saturdays during football season, and that's annoying. Just do Saturdays all the time. I don't get it. Uh,
Yeah, like if your biggest competitor had caught on to this trend of doing things more on a Saturday now, especially
yeah,
if you do if they're starting to do things in Europe, which is way more beneficial for North American viewers because it's
very
just
much.
literally in the
Oh yeah,
afternoon. So
the
yeah,
show
you're done.
starts. The show starts at 2 p.m. I can freaking watch the show and still have a lot of time left to do other things.
Exactly.
Like, but this show ended at 12:30 on a Sunday. As soon as it ended, I had to go to bed.
So here's the thing. I just realized Dynasty took place in Vancouver, BC, Canada, which is on the West Coast,
Yeah.
West Coast Standard Time. So if it started at 8 p.m. for us, it definitely started around 5 p.m. locally. So
Yes. Correct.
maybe that was why. But to your point, most of the time, yeah, they start off at 8 and then like run way past midnight, which is yeah, they need to work on that.
They really do. I don't understand why. If you're gonna run on Sundays, have the show go on earlier. I don't get it. All right, so we'll get into the matches here. As I mentioned, the 0 hour pre-show had 4 matches, one of which was made during the show. um, but the first match, which was announced and actually did have storyline implications, was Alex Windsor taking on Marina Shafir. Of course, this match is happening because of the ongoing United Empire versus Death Riders stuff. On the Dynamite before this, we had the 4-on-4 match that was basically it wasn't a falls count anywhere, but there was no rules. So everybody was just doing everything like normal AEW multi-man matches that are supposed to have rules but don't. And Alex Windsor, of course, is the fiance or wife of Will Ospreay. Marina Shafir is the enforcer of the Death Riders, and she loses again. I don't understand why Alex Windsor needed this win, because she's in a tag team now, like full time. And Marina Shafir has not won a single big match since Blood and Guts. She's lost every big match she's been in since Blood and Guts.
Yeah, she is a John Moxley's enforcer, but when it comes to winning a match, her win-loss record is mostly on the L. I also didn't really understand why this match took place, other than the whole the two faction going at each other connection. Because I was thinking Alex Windsor's in a tag team, so I was wondering why is she having a singles match, and then I saw that later on her partner Jamie Hayter had a AEW Women's Title match with Tekla, which I also wasn't entirely sure about, because if these two are supposed to be a tag team, shouldn't they be focused on that?
Well, I think I don't know this for a fact, but I would guess that the reason that they're not going for the tag titles right now is because of All In. I imagine they want Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor to either be going into All In as the tag champs or challenging for the tag titles at All In. But All In is 4 months away, 3 months away.
I understand that. Like, I wasn't expecting them to immediately go right into title contention. They just became a team. I think they need to build up the sort of like story or background behind them. It's just that I was like, you just suddenly have the two of them have two separate singles matches. So I thought it was kind of deviating from the whole story or the character build for this new team you're having, right?
So this match was fine. I didn't hate it. I mean, it was pretty good for a almost 9-minute pre-show match. I mean, Marina Shafir is like leaps and bounds improving to the point like a few years ago, like we were worried that she was going to be like used at all, and then she got put into the Death Riders and she's been on fire ever since. She's just not winning matches. She's having great matches and she's performing great, but yeah, I don't understand why, like, she should obviously have won this match. I don't know why she didn't. But yeah, I thought this match was pretty good for what it was. I wasn't expecting anything out of a pre-show opener that was gonna, knock my socks off or anything. But yeah, I thought it was fine. Any closing thoughts on this match?
No, other than I was kind of surprised at the ending. I was like, oh, okay, because like you'd at least think Marina would just kind of clean it up here, but I guess I was just a little perplexed by the outcome.
Yeah. All right. So the next match is the aforementioned match that was announced day of, because apparently Willow Nightingale was supposed to be having an open challenge here. At least that's what they told us. But during an interview, she was attacked. Who was she attacked by? Camille, who has not appeared on AEW television in over 500 days.
I couldn't even tell who that was. Like I saw like cowboy boots that were like American flag cowboy boots, but I was like, that's not Megan Bain? And then I was like, and then they zoomed in once, like they zoomed in on the boots, and then they did this camera shot upwards to her face, and we're like, oh, it's Camille. Okay.
And
I was like, wow.
I guess her thing now is that because she's going to be on American Gladiators, that she's going to be dressing very American.
I almost forgot about that, along with Wardlow and former Rick Boogs, and and fucking hosted by The Miz, apparently.
Yeah.
Strange combination of folks, but I actually forgot about that. That Camille's on American Gladiators, so maybe that makes sense. So she gets this backstage attack, and then apparently that as a result of that, Willow cannot compete on the show or the buy-in, and therefore Camille got this like throwaway match with the local talent that lasted barely a minute.
Yes, it was a minute. It was a squash match, a minute and 25.
Yeah,
she took a local indie talent named Big Ann, who I had never heard of before.
I don't either. I am not into the Vancouver West Coast indie scene, so maybe folks out in the Vancouver area may be more familiar with Big Ann than I am. But anyway,
but she won pretty quick. The finish was a torture rack power bomb, and I mean, we haven't seen her since she was randomly attacked by somebody after breaking off her relationship with Mercedes in 2024.
Wow.
So I guess she's back and she's going for the TBS title because Willow is once again putting her title on the line on the next Dynamite against somebody who hasn't wrestled in over a year. And she's done that twice now with Queen Aminata and Hikaru Shida. So now she's doing that with Camille. I imagine she's going to retain. But, I mean, if she doesn't, that would be pretty crazy. But I imagine she's going to keep it for when Mercedes gets back.
Yeah.
But also, is Mercedes going to have something to say to Camille or whatever? Are they going to even acknowledge that relationship history? Is Camille even going to try to find out who attacked her in 2024?
I mean, I don't even remember that's how she was taken off TV. It was like that actually. I don't even remember that happening.
And we stopped acknowledging her existence after that for 500 plus days.
Wow. Okay.
But so we'll see what happens there. The next match I thought was a pretty good match, and I guess this is stemming off of recent stuff on Dynamite, because Jack Perry really not in a feud right now. He defended his national championship against Mark Davis. And this was a pretty good match for what it was. Mark Davis has been killing it since he's been back. I mean, obviously he's taken a lot of he had the injuries, and then they put him with Jake Doyle, and then Jake Doyle gets hurt, and then they put the trios championships on him, Fletcher, and Okada for literally a week, and then they lose those, and now Fletcher is hurt, and so Mark Davis is kind of just there, just having okay matches or having pretty good matches, and this one was one of those. Jack Perry did a pile driver to Mark Davis, and he really had to power him up, and there was a near fall here, and for some reason the audience was shocked at the kick out. There was a weird reaction to the kick out to this pile driver, the ref missed the call or something, but it was just a standard kick out. I don't know why there was such a weird reaction to this. But yeah, they had a pretty good match, and Jack won with a surprise roll up.
Yeah.
What did you think of this match?
I thought it was solid. I mean, nothing. I mean, it wasn't a match of the year kind of candidate, but it was a solid match. You got a lighter guy, you got a bit of a heavyweight with power moves guy.
Mm-hmm.
Really, you just gotta let Mark cook and let him do his thing, and then he'll look like an unstoppable monster. And the fact that Jack had to do some kind of roll up to win this showed how challenging it was, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad they gave something to Mark, because I was much more interested in him in that tag team he had with Jake something prior to the unfortunate injury. So I don't know. Just sad. Yeah. It's just unfortunate all these injuries happening lately. It was Josh Alexander and Kyle and Jake. I mean,
hey,
yeah, they were really lighting it up when as far as the Don Callis family. I remember those segments where
maybe
it was Jake and Mark just in the background beating people up, random people in the back, and then Josh just looking in the camera, just shouting out a crazy promo while he's got some poor asshole in an ankle lock. So it was just very entertaining stuff.
Maybe there is just too many people in this group.
I read today that apparently somebody asked him, "Are you gonna have women in this team?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I'm focused on the boys right now. I am trying to set up a soccer team, so we're gonna have a soccer tournament going, or something to that effect, or a minor league baseball team, just so enough to he needs enough people to have a game, right? 9-on-9, I guess, so which conceivably means that there's at least 20 plus members in the Don Callis.
Well, there's 5 of them that are injured, so. And apparently Lance Archer's contract is coming up in July. I wonder if he's going to stay. I mean, I imagine he would if AEW wants to keep him, but he hasn't been wrestling for AEW. He's kind of just been standing behind Don Callis and nothing else. So we'll see. I mean, another Dove cries. We talk about it all the time. There's too many titles, and this one is the lowest one that is the most unnecessary. But at least Jack Perry's doing something while Luchasaurus is hurt. I mean, he's been having some pretty good matches with Ricochet in this match. And he's going to be having a good match on Joey Janela's Spring Break, where he's going to be teaming with Marco Stunt once again. And they are going to be taking on the team of KJ Orso and Sam Stackhouse. If you follow GCW, those two had a feud that was bloody to the point where KJ Orso beat the shit out of Sam Stackhouse's wife in front of him. Well, not beat the shit out of it. He stomped on her head in wrestling terms. And now they're friends again. And apparently KJ Orso and Marco are very good friends in real life, and this is probably going to be Marco's last match ever. And teaming with Jack Perry once again, Jurassic Express, or at least 2/3 of it, back together for one more match. So that should be a fun match. I'm actually really looking forward to that match. The next match, the last match on the pre-show, was a random women's tag team title match that you wouldn't know if the challengers won any matches unless you watch ROH. It was the Divine Dominion defending against Hyon and Maya World. Hyon and we've talked about this in the past. Hyon and Maya World were not a tag team before November. I don't even know if they knew each other. They were just put together because of some unforeseen circumstances, and now they're a tag team. And they work pretty well together. They're not a bad team. This was a fun match. It was the longest match on the pre-show, and it was pretty good, all things considered. Obviously, the result was never in question. But I thought that this was a pretty fun match for what it was. Divine Dominion is a great tag team. I mean, Megan Bayne has had like 4 different partners, and this is easily her best one. It just makes sense. They're two like powerhouse females.
Yeah. I mean, that was what I observed. Do you see Megan Bayne is such a unique presence? Like, she's like tall, athletic. There's very rarely any women that are that tall. I keep saying tall, but she's like just this huge, athletic woman. And usually when you have she's basically like a female version of a Kevin Nash. You usually pair her up with somebody smaller, a little faster. You had Penelope Ford, but unfortunately she got injured like at least twice now. Marina Shafir would have worked out. That was an interesting pairing. But Marina spun off and started doing different things. Ironically, I think if they did put this team together, Marina probably would be a tag team champion by now. And then so they found Linda Cross, who's also a huge, athletic, tall woman.
She's bigger than Megan.
She stands around. She's 6 foot. Megan is. Let's see how tall Megan is. Megan is just 5'11", so she's taller than Megan Bayne. So they're two statuesque women. So this is like the Twin Towers back in the 80s or whatever, or like the whatever tag. I mean, I guess the modern equivalent would be like what Bishop Dyer and Dijak are right now on the MLW or the Indies. Yeah, the skyscrapers, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah, I love this tag team. I think they're great. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to. Obviously, we've talked about it today and multiple times. Eventually, they are going to face the Brawling Birds, and that's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah.
For now, I think
right now it's just going to be a series of just squash matches because you're like, no, what? You just look at those two, and then you look at the opposition, and you're like, whatever. This is going to last 5 minutes.
Apparently, I don't know if this is going to be a regular thing, but Hikaru Shida has been talking to Chris Statlander about being a tag team. Maybe that's going to be a feud that happens. But yeah, they haven't really established big challengers for the tag team titles right now on the women's side. A common theme that is still a problem in AEW is the fact that there's only one on this show specifically, and almost every Dynamite. There's only one women's match on the main card. There was 2 on the pre-show. I don't understand how you can't fit this. This could have been on the main card. This
pre-show, there were more women's matches than men's matches. You realize that, right? because you got Divine Dominion, their squash,
there was three.
Camille squash, and then Alex Windsor beating Marina. So I said 3.
Yeah.
I said there's 3 out of 4 matches on the pre-show, and so I said what I was saying. My point was the majority of these were women's matches.
Yeah, but the main card had 1 women's match.
Yeah, it's a strange. I don't want to say imbalance because they gave us women's matches. It's just that on the main show there wasn't anything.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we could discuss when we go to the main card which of these matches would have been better just being on a pre-show instead of this, instead of on the main card. Yeah, that too.
I mean, that's a common theme with AEW pay-per-views. There's always that one match or 2 matches that didn't need to be on this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with Divine Dominion going forward. Like I said, there aren't really any other established challengers right now, so maybe we're building something. I don't know if Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida are going to be a regular team or if that was just a tease. But we'll see. All right, so now we're into the main card, and this opening match was one of the best matches on the show. You had the Young Bucks taking on the team of Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada. Apparently, this was supposed to be Takeshita and Fletcher, but unfortunately, Fletcher has a meniscus injury, and apparently he has multiple injuries on one leg. He's going to be out for a good amount of time.
Oh,
which sucks. So we got this. Apparently, there was supposed to be an international title match on the show, but I was kind of happy we got this match because this match moved some things forward. It was kind of weird that we had the whole Continental Classic stuff, and then we kind of just put Takeshita Okada to the side again. And, I mean, we talked about this. Takeshita should have beat Moxley, and they should be facing each other for both belts so that they can get rid of the Continental title altogether because it's not needed.
Right.
But that didn't happen. But we got this match, and this match was amazing. So, like, it started off, like, they kind of did some comedy at the beginning, like, which is fine. There was a couple of spots where Okada was going to do a drop kick, and off of one of the Young Bucks doing a springboard, and they faked it, and he just jumped in the air.
Yeah. There was the one where I think Nick was knocked out.
Yeah.
Okada went and stole the Young Bucks vest and headband.
Yes.
Put it on himself.
Yeah.
And then pretended to be Matt's partner as a massive troll.
Yes.
He was like, "Tag me in, Matt. Tag me in." And for those people, I guess the fans out there who watched Being the Elite, this was a throwback to, I guess, when Okada was on the Bucks' little own YouTube series.
Yes.
As the what was he called? Okada Jackson or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and he would always just randomly put on the Young Bucks clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, he always used to do that on Being in like when Okada was still a regular in Japan, and they would go to Japan. Every once in a while, they would just film Okada putting on their clothes. I don't know why. It was just the thing that they did. Yeah, of course, this entire match was Okada and Takeshita not being able to coexist, which is expected because they hate each other. Don Callis was on commentary, and during the match, he said that he wanted Nick Jackson's eye. Like he put a bounty. He wanted to take Nick Jackson's eye out of his face, and there was a point where Takeshita was holding Matt Jackson, and Don Callis put his fingers in Matt Jackson's eye, and like to poke them. And
Okay.
he gets back on commentary, and he's like, "Didn't you just say that you wanted Nick Jackson's eye? Why did you just do that to Matt Jackson?" Like,
oh my god. I'm glad you noticed these minor little details to make the overview of this more entertaining. Because this whole match, right? The whole point is we're gonna see if the two biggest Japanese stars in AEW can coexist, right? This is supposed to be the dream team, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. And Don Callis himself said, I don't care if so-and-so's fighting with who or who hates who in this family. I'm here to win shit. I'm here to win titles. I'm here to win matches. I have to put together the best team possible. And on paper, Okada and Takeshita is kind of a dream team. And you kind of saw them working together through most of it, right? They actually did manage coexist. But then at some point later, as the match progressed, things started kind of breaking down. Like they almost kind of hit each other when they try to do a move and then Matt or Nick ducked out of the way.
Yeah.
And then it's like they almost hit each other, and then they do end up hitting each other, and then they just start punching each other in the face.
Yeah.
And then they just 5 minutes later they just go back at it against the Bucks. It's just so kind of like what.
There was a point where the Young Bucks had sharpshooters on both guys, and they were slapping each other.
Yeah, they're slapping each other to stop them from tapping out.
Yeah,
which was very effective, I would add.
Yes, but yeah, as you mentioned, there was multiple times where Takeshita was going for the running knee and he accidentally hit Okada with it. Okada was going for the Rainmaker and he accidentally hit Takeshita with it. Only because the Young Bucks ducked and got out of the way. There was a great spot where Takeshita was going for a German suplex. And what it was Matt was going for a German suplex on Okada. And then Takeshita comes in and tries to do it to Matt while he's holding Okada. But Okada's holding the ropes. So Nick Jackson springboards in, sunset flips over them, and Germans all three of them.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was amazing. That was like I was like, is Nick trying to do the what? And then he does it. I'm like, oh, gee.
Yeah, I love that spot. That was really cool. But yeah, as you mentioned, there was a point where Takeshita and Okada were fighting one of the Young Bucks each, and they back into each other. And then they turn around and just start hitting each other in the face with elbow shots. And the Young Bucks are just sitting there watching them do this. And then Matt runs in, and Takeshi and Okada hit a great combination of a jumping knee and a drop kick off of this. After 2 seconds ago, they were punching.
That's my point. That's my point. 1 minute they're punching each other in the face, and then next minute they're like doing stereo drop kicks on the opponent, and it's like, what are you supposed to think about this? Like, Don, this was your grand plan? Like, was this? Is this like what you were expecting of this?
So,
and I'm just like, okay, and I don't know if you remember anything else. I just remember the finish, and I thought that was one of the significant things I noted at the beginning of this pod.
I was going to mention before the finish, like Don Callis told these guys that they can wrestle each other after this match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and Takeshita just doesn't care anymore. Like, he doesn't want anything to do with Okada anymore, to the point where I think Don Callis is like fed up with this shit. So they're going for the Meltzer TK driver, whatever they call it, on Okada. And Takeshita is on the outside, and he stops Nick from doing the springboard. But then he just lets go and lets him do it and walks away.
Exactly.
And because he doesn't care if he loses this match, because Okada's going to take a tombstone.
Yeah, so like what you said, there was no stipulation that Don said, you guys have to win this match, otherwise, Takeshita, you don't get your title shot at Double or Nothing. He just said, okay, you guys do this match, and then we'll let you wrestle each other at Double or Nothing because you need to like get this out of your system. It was like win or loss either way to catch the wins. And you know what's interesting about that segment was that when Takeshita grabs a leg and then just looks up and then just lets go, it reminds me of Full Gear 2021 when Hangman was able to do the buckshot on Kenny and Matt and Nick were outside, and then Matt and Nick decided, okay, no, we're just gonna. They just nodded at Hanger and just let him finish off Kenny, and Hangman then won his first AEW World Title back then. So it was almost a similar situation here. It was like a throwback to that, what happened back then, to how this match ended. But I think Okada was kind of provoking Takeshita a bit. He was like flipping him off and like, mocking him again. So that probably was what pushed him over.
And even like to the point, like when Kyle was not hurt, every time that Kyle would have a backstage with Okada, he would say something derogatory about Takeshita while Takeshita wasn't there. And Kyle would just shrug it off, like, "Oh, we're a great tag team, unlike you and Takeshita. We're better." Or like, we both have titles and he doesn't have anything, even though he has a New Japan belt. But yeah, so I think we're finally gonna get the blow off of this at Double or Nothing. I am hoping that I get to go to Double or Nothing. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm trying to make that happen, but we'll see, because Double or Nothing is in Queens this year. So
which arena is that in Queens?
It's going to be at the Louis Armstrong Arena. It is a tennis arena.
Okay.
It's not a big arena. I think it seats like 6 or 7.
14,000 people capacity.
Okay. 14.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that many.
Open for the 2018 U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to go, and if they're gonna have that match, I'm super excited if I get to see it. But yeah, I think we are getting closer and closer to Takeshita fully going babyface, fully being out of the Don Callis family. We've been building to that for a while. I think it's finally going to happen. And now Kyle is hurt, so Kyle's going to come back, and Takeshita's not going to be in the family anymore. And that's going to be another thing, because Kyle's probably not going to be happy about that. But hopefully Kyle is able to come back for All In. Who knows? That would be good. Hopefully, it's not that serious of an injury, but we'll find out. But yeah, the Young Bucks win the match, and it seems like they are moving closer to another tag title match. If that's a Double or Nothing, or they're going to wait till All In, we'll obviously talk more about that when we get to the tag title match. All right, so the next match was one of the matches that the result very much surprised me, because I thought it was going the other way, as did a lot of other people. The next match was Ricochet taking on Chris Jericho. This was Chris Jericho's first match in over a year. He's been gone. I don't think he wrestled in 2025 at all. It was over a
year. What was the last time we saw him? Like April 2025? Wasn't there like a match there that happened before then, and then he just got taken out or something? I can't remember.
No, he just went away. He didn't even get taken out. Like, it got to a point. Like,
he did. He was with Big Bill and Brian Keefe, and then
he was doing the learning tree thing, and he was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna let you guys do your own thing, and I'm gonna go over here. And we didn't see him for over a year. His last match was it was a whole year. His last match before this was his mask versus title match with Bandito at last year's Dynasty, which was on April 6th. So it was a whole year, basically. But yeah, Chris Jericho's back. Apparently he's back on a multi-year deal when people thought he was going back to WWE, because we all thought there was really nothing left for him to do in AEW. But I think, and again, I don't know this, I think the reason he went back to WWE, went back to AEW is the freedom. Obviously, things in WWE are more restrictive. But yeah, and maybe he just has more say in what he's doing in AEW. But yeah, he did that promo where he randomly came out on a Dynamite in Winnipeg when we were supposed to be having a contract signing for Kenny and MJF. Came back out to Judas. Judas is back. And then he just said he was back. And then he signed
apparently not his first name.
Well,
except his first name.
They're still calling him Chris Jericho. But then the following week,
but it's like his video just says Jericho. He's being listed as Jericho in the list of matches here for Dynasty, and it's like he's being called Jericho all the time. Although internally, I'm told he's still Chris Jericho. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
the following week he comes out on Dynamite that he's going to sign his contract, and he gets interrupted by Ricochet. And Ricochet basically tells him what everybody tells him, which is to go home and to retire. And he brings back the list of Jericho, which he hasn't done in over a decade. And says that he has an open contract for it to challenge anybody at Dynasty. And he chooses Ricochet. And this match was actually pretty good for a Chris Jericho match in 2026. They had, it was a lot of back and forth. There was a great spot where Ricochet did a shooting star and it was caught into a code breaker. But yeah, I did not expect Ricochet to win this match. I don't think anybody expected Ricochet to win this match, because a lot of times when Chris Jericho has matches like this, he just wins. But Ricochet won because the Demand got involved a lot. Like, to the point where the referee knew it was happening and did nothing. And Aubrey's usually pretty good about that stuff. There was multiple distractions, multiple stuff happening behind the ref's back. Why are we making the refs look stupid? I thought only Rick Knox was stupid.
It's a running theme across all wrestling companies that referees, I don't know. If I took the time, I think I could compile a list of things that referees do that annoy me, and that I think some of them have improved on certain things, that they are a little smarter. But yeah, Aubrey not really picking up that, this match is going to end in shenanigans when you cut to those two bruisers circling the ring outside. This was not going to be
and there was multiple times where she got distracted by one guy and the other guy entered the ring and then left the ring.
It's like that was a clear reason to kick them out. You as a referee have the power to do the you're out of here, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know why they didn't do that part, because if they did that part and Ricochet still went over, that would have been more impressive. Because the point was to put over a younger talent, which is I think what Jericho was trying to do here. Why he didn't win in Canada.
Younger compared to him. I mean, Ricochet is almost
40. That is true. It's but I would say in comparison between the two of them, 37, he's still got a couple, maybe a good decade or so to go, as opposed to Chris Jericho.
Yes, so Jericho did try to fight off both guys on the outside. He did a crossbody to the outside on all three of them, but it got to a point where it was just too overwhelming, and Ricochet hit the spirit gun, and instead of he was going to go for the pin right there, and then Toa Liona was he's like, no, wait, and he does a lion salt, and then wins the match.
Oh yeah, that was the finish. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So Ricochet beats Chris Jericho with his own move. And so usually when stuff like this happens, that means the feud is not over. Because Jericho's got to get his win back. But a lot of people have been talking about how Chris Jericho said in that promo when he was about to sign his contract that he doesn't care where he is on the card. He just wants to be here. He doesn't care if he wins or loses, or if he's the first match, the second match, the main event. So maybe this won't continue. I would be fine with that, but I don't know. Normally we record these after Dynamite, but we're recording this before Dynamite. So I guess we're gonna find out on Wednesday. We're recording this on Tuesday instead. And so we'll find out on Wednesday what's going on with Jericho moving forward. Ricochet needs to move up the card. He just lost the national title. He should be doing bigger things. He should be in the international. He should be in the TNT. That's what Ricochet should be doing. I mean, the demand should have been in the trios for last year, but that just didn't happen. I don't know why. But, I mean, it's very possible that's where they go after this. And we'll talk about why later. But, Ricochet gets the win here, which I think surprised probably 90% of the internet. All right, the next match was probably the second best, or if not the best match on the show. Darby Allin versus Andrade. This match ruled. I absolutely loved this match. It started off slow. Of course, Andrade did his shtick. He went outside and found a random woman who was probably a wrestler and took a selfie with them. But this match really picked up, and Darby didn't do anything too crazy in this match like he would in everything. This was just a good wrestling match. And Andrade did the pants gimmick and revealed some tights that are just getting smaller and smaller. This match absolutely ruled. There was a point where they were fighting in the crowd, and Andrade got drop kicked on the stairs and just slid down the stairs. So that had to hurt. He did a great spot on. So Andrade had Darby on his back like he was going for an avalanche Samoan drop, and Darby rolled out of it off the top rope into a crossface. I really liked that transition. That was really cool. They did a superplex. Okay, this was the thing that Darby did that was kind of stupid. They did a suplex from the apron to the floor. So that had to hurt. Andrade needs to use that elbow, that running back elbow that he does. He needs to be the only one that does that. Jericho, I hope, just retires the Judas effect. Because when Andrade does that elbow, it looks like it hurts a lot more than when Jericho does it. But yeah, this match ruled. Darby got the win after he locked in the Last Supper pin.
Yeah, I remember that's how it ended.
Yes, and now Darby is next in line to challenge for the AEW World Championship. That was the stipulation.
Also interesting was at the end of the match, Andrade shook his hand, and then held it up, and then so it's very classy, not very Don Callis family like behavior. Yes. So we'll have to see what the repercussions are for that.
Also, and we haven't talked about this in storyline, because Darby is trying to get to the world title. MJF paid the Don Callis family a lot of money to try to keep Darby from getting a title shot, and Andrade wanted nothing to do with that because Andrade wants to be the world champion. And Don Callis was like, sometimes you gotta do what's best for the family. But Andrade doesn't want to do that. He wants to be the world champion. And
he has enough. He has enough money on his own. Like, what's another $100,000? Whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah, there are some cracks there. Like you said, Don Callis family members don't tend to show respect to their opponents after the matches. And we haven't seen what Don Callis' reaction to that was. But yeah, maybe there's going to be Andrade moving out on his own from the Don Callis family as well. He went to New Japan and he was revealed as like the financial backer of the United Empire. Like, end of last year.
Yeah, that's interesting. You brought that up. It was something that I was almost forgotten.
And Will Ospreay actually had a back and forth with Andrade on social media, and they basically I don't remember exactly how it went, but Ospreay was like, hey, he's like, where were you? He's like, oh, you guys got it. I'm busy doing other stuff. But yeah, maybe that's going to change in the near future. Because yeah, it looks like he's not going to be in the Don Callis family for long. All right. So the next match. All right, we gotta talk about this match.
Oh,
FTR defending the World Tag Team Championships against Cope and Cage.
Yeah. Okay. So remember how I said this? I was not very happy about like the local Canadian talent. Jericho. Now that we talked about it already, I can understand it and let it slide. I don't understand. However, I don't understand the outcome of this FTR Cope and Cage match at all. Like,
yeah,
it was just like baffling to me, and I'm like, what? You can just do Young Bucks and FTR again? Because it's like we've seen that so many times.
So,
but I'm like, anyway, go on.
The thing that keeps happening in these Cope and Christian matches, and we saw it at All Out also. Obviously, they haven't been around since. For some reason, they keep doing this thing where Christian gets taken out and Cope can just fight both of them by himself. And they do it every time. And it's like, that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, like, Christian, you're a former world champion, former like Grand Slam champion everywhere. You could be a Hall of Famer at this point, but you get thrown over a table and you're just done for the rest of the match, like, and you just leave poor Adam to fend off, do this by himself.
Also, Adam should not be able to fight FTR by himself. He's a
54, 50 plus years old. It's like
at All Out, he was kicking out of everything. In this, he was just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you."
Maybe his name should be Adam Hogan instead of Adam Copeland.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he would love that.
Yeah, don't work for me, brother.
Yeah, but this match was fun. I didn't hate this match. It was actually a pretty good match for what it was. It was just a very questionable result because, as you mentioned, they even did Young Bucks moves in this match, basically acknowledging that FTR knows they're not done with them. The Young Bucks and Cope and Christian had that stare down when they first came back, and we thought that that's where this was going. But yeah, I mean it was a fun match. Christian was selling his arm most of the match because he's I guess his arm is kayfabe hurt from when they brawled recently, and Stoke took his watch.
Which Adam still doesn't get back. That little shit still has his watch.
Yeah. There was a spot where Cash goes to bring the belt into the match, and Christian is pulling on the belt to prevent him from using it. And after Cope tries to go for a roll-up, as soon as Dax kicks out, Christian lets go of the belt, and Cash just hits Cope in the face with the belt right in front of the ref.
Is that how Adam got busted open?
Yes,
because you saw the replay, right?
Yeah,
they did a great shot. Adam just got hit back, and you could always see the blood dripping down his forehead.
Well, that's why I was wondering when this happened if one of two things happened. Either he got busted open the hard way from the belt shot, or he bladed before and just started bleeding as soon as the belt hit him. Because the blood started coming out while he was falling to the ground.
Exactly. It's I feel like he did cut himself, and then it was just that added bonus of the shot just made it even more bloody than what they intended.
Yeah.
For.
There was a spot that I actually really liked where it looked like FTR was about to win. I think they had just hit the Shatter Machine on Cope, and Christian throws Stokely into the ring to basically break the pin.
That was hilarious because Dax thought Stokely turned on him or something. It's no, bro. You know me. I'm 90. I'm only 57 pounds. They use me as a battling weight.
Well, yeah. Then he tried to explain to them that no, Christian threw me into the ring. I didn't mean to do that. And then Christian goes to use a chair. Again, this is not no DQ. They did not say this was a street fight. So belt shots, chairs getting involved. So Christian has a chair, and he's going to swing it at Cash, and which doesn't make any sense because the ref is right there. And then Stoke takes it away. Christian pushes Stoke out of the way, and then while holding the chair, Cash throws Christian into the ring post, and he slams his face into the chair, then gets thrown over the barricade, and we never see him again.
He was just gone, and then he's just lying there as FTR just finished off Copeland.
Well, then this is the point where FTR started doing Young Bucks moves. They did multiple super kicks, and then they went for the BTE trigger or the FTR trigger, but Cope got out of the way, speared both of them at the same time, and then they hit the Shatter Machine, but Cope, of course, kicked out of the Shatter Machine, and but it just became too much for him to take on both guys by himself, and they hit it again.
Right.
They hit it again, and then they retain. Also, I forgot to mention, at some point during this match, Cope and Christian hit a 3D.
Okay. I may have missed that, but was that on a table?
No, it was in the ring.
Okay.
Yeah. Because famously, Cope and Christian never had a double team finisher.
Oh.
They were just a tag team that was really good at wrestling. They never had a double team finisher ever. But yeah, so FTR retained, and that was it. Christian got into the ring to check on Cope, who was bleeding, and he brought a chair with him. But then they just ended the segment.
I actually thought Christian was going to turn on Cope again.
So did I. That's why I was like, why does he have the chair?
So that's why I was disappointed with this match. It was like, yeah, Saul. I mean, it was like the best you could muster. But you're in a crowd. You're in a hometown field. My understanding, we're not getting AEW is not coming back to Toronto for a pay-per-view anytime soon. Probably not until next year. I don't know. What the fuck do I know? And I'm like, this was the perfect time to capitalize on this, because you had FTR attack Cope, attack his wife, nearly breaking her neck. You've already established all this personal stuff. You finally brought these guys back together after years of not being a team and just feuding with each other. And they're at this point where they are actually two good singles guys, but they are it's that nostalgia feeling. It's Edge and Christian, so ENC. It's what I remember from way back when I started watching this stuff. It's why the hell would you not capitalize on this? You don't even need a long title run. Let's have FTR win it back or something. If you're gonna do another FTR Young Bucks thing at All In or whatever.
Well,
it was just really strange to me that's the decision they went to. And yeah, also the added fact that Christian just disappeared for the last 10 minutes of the match or whatever.
Yeah. There's been speculation going around that they're going to do a TLC match between the Young Bucks, FTR, and Cope and Christian at All In.
I wonder what they'll call that. I mean, they can't call it a TLC match.
I don't know about that.
I mean, they call it Blood and Guts, but we all know it's basically War Games.
I mean, they could also call it a ladder war if they want. That's an ROH thing, but
yeah, I guess, or Fight Without Honor. That's kind of their of names on this kind of thing. Or
they had ROH
Full Metal Mayhem if you want to go to TNA route.
Well, yeah. So I just don't know what you do in the in between.
Right.
Because not a lot of tag teams are being prepared for challenging the tag titles. I mean, the Hurt Syndicate's back, so maybe we're gonna go there again. Supposedly they're looking to get new members. I don't know who they would get. Maybe Kevin Knight's gonna turn heel, but we're about to talk about him. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens between now and I don't know what the tag title situation is going to be at Double or Nothing. I can't imagine we're going to have an FTR and Cope and Christian rematch. But who knows? We will see what happens. The next match on the card was the Casino Gauntlet match. Of course, this has become AEW's signature match, and it seems like they kind of do it too much. I feel like they should save this for special occasions. I know, obviously they did this because Kyle was hurt and couldn't. I mean, apparently he wasn't going to be defending the TNT title. He was going to be in the Young Bucks match. But he's going to be out long enough that they couldn't not vacate the title. So they announced the Casino Gauntlet. And I was hoping for some returns in this match, maybe at least one or two. We didn't get any, and I understand why. I mean, the roster is so stacked. I guess we didn't really need any here. But Tommaso Ciampa and Rush both earned the opportunity to start the match. Because in a Casino Gauntlet, you want an earlier number because the match could end. The match could end at any time. It could end with just those two guys if that happens in the first 5 minutes or whatever. But we had 10 entrants. We had Bandito, Speedball Mike Bailey, El Clon, Pac, Daniel Garcia, Anthony Bowens, Kevin Knight, and Wheeler Yuta. And yeah, I mean, this match was a lot of fun. I did not think that Tommaso Ciampa was going to win. I thought maybe Rush had a shot, but they don't really do anything with him anyway. But I was very happy that Kevin Knight got the win because so we're going to talk about the trios titles, but the trios titles have been hot potatoed like 5 times in the last
we'll talk about that in a minute, but yeah.
So I'm happy that Kevin Knight got his first singles title ever because he never had a singles title in New Japan. He was always teaming with somebody. He was always teaming with Kushida. And now he's like pretty much since day one been teaming with Mike Bailey. But yeah, this match was a lot of fun. There was a great spot. Of course, you know, whenever they do these matches, they have to have a big dive onto everybody thing. And the finish was very fast paced. There was a point where like it looked like Pac was going to win, and then it looked like Mike Bailey was going to win, and then Kevin Knight just flew in and hit the UFO splash and got the victory.
Yeah, so that was an interesting finish, is that Kevin Knight took out Daniel Garcia, who had his tag partner, Mike Bailey, locked in submission.
The Dragon Slayer.
So in a sense, Kevin Knight, at the expense of his tag partner, won the title.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, this is a free-for-all. Like, there's no tag teams here. Like, if it came down to the 3 Death Riders, one of them would have to figure out who's going to walk away this title. Right, yep. So, but it's not an elimination match, so the dynamics wouldn't have worked there. I mean, what else did I notice about this? El Clon appears to be doing a new thing where he tears off the eye patch on his mask and exposing the very sinister-looking eyes that he has, which is like they're calling it like a upgrade, which not really. It's just
sure.
Yeah, sure, okay, but yeah, I would have. But other than that, yeah, Kevin Knight was the right guy to put this title on. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
you're trying to push this guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, like they very clearly like him a lot. Like he's been put in big matches. I mean, like they put him. Like, remember last year, like Ospreay was supposed to face Jay White, and Jay White got hurt, and they put Kevin Knight in that match. So, yeah, I clearly they have big plans for Kevin Knight now and in the future. I hate the fact that the ROH champion was in this match and still isn't defending his belt.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, what was that about? I was like, Bandito, you have a title already. Why are you doing this match?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Well, you're gonna put Brody King in this match, right? Like, where was he?
Anthony Bowens was trying to get into the ops, but we haven't seen Hook in weeks. So
yeah. I don't understand this whole thing that they're doing here. It's just very confusing. Like
Yeah.
Hook says, "I'm the new leader of the ops," and then like it's just literally him. Shibata's gone. Joe's gone.
Oh no, Shibata's still holding the camera.
Oh yes, but we never see him.
Yeah.
But it's just like it just looks like Hook is like it looks like Samoa Joe basically told Hook, "Hey, it's yours now, kid. I'm gonna take a year off."
Well,
It's like he has to rebuild this whole
I
thing
don't
from
think
scratch.
I don't think they knew what to do when Samoa Joe got hurt, so they're kind of trying to still figure it out. But yeah, and obviously we still haven't seen Hologram in a while.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to be back soon. I was kind of expecting somebody like him in this match. But I mean, my pick was Buddy Matthews because he recently posted a picture that like he was ready to go. But and I think Brody King was not here because of his the passing of his friend.
Oh.
He wasn't on Dynamite for that reason. I don't know if the same thing for the pay per view, but yeah. So we'll see what happens. Kevin Knight is going to be defending against Claudio on Dynamite tomorrow, time of recording. And I guess they can always just use the argument of like, oh, I was supposed to be in the gauntlet match, but my number never got called because the match ended. So you would have had every member of the Death Riders in there. The remaining.
Yeah. I was like, Claudio's not here. That's kind of odd. He usually should be in this kind of thing.
Yeah, so he's getting a singles match with Kevin Knight for the title on Wednesday. All right. The next match is the only women's match on the main card. It is Tekla taking on Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's World Championship. Tekla didn't really do much after ending the feud with Chris Statlander. They kind of just put her to the side and was like, hey, we got a pay-per-view coming up. She's got history with Jamie Hayter. Here's a title match.
Yeah, like what was it? Like a year ago, she debuted attacking Jamie Hayter, so they wanted to draw it back to that. It was just like,
yeah,
oh wow, oh yeah, now I remember. But it's gotten to a point where it's like, oh well, I didn't really care about this anymore. And also to our earlier point, okay, if Jamie and Alex were supposed to be a tag team, why is she getting a random AEW World Title match? I guess because there were really no credible opponents at this time, and whatever. I mean, the match went on a decent amount of time.
Yeah, and it was not a bad match. It was it was a fine match for what it was. Tekla's great. Jamie's great. Both amazing workers. There was a great spot where Tekla did a crossbody to the outside, like just absolutely like flawless. Jamie's one of the hardest hitting women on the entire roster. She basically like just, and I loved the spot where she Tekla did the spider crawl thing. She ducked the clothesline and did the spider crawl thing, but Jamie Hayter just picked her up and hit a tombstone.
Oh,
from that position.
Damn.
So that was really cool. But yeah, Tekla would end up retaining, as we expected she would. I don't think there was any question of who was winning this match. And yeah, I mean, I really don't know what we're building to with Tekla as the champion. We haven't really laid the groundwork for what that is. Because there isn't really anybody right now that they're like building to overcome this. I mean, I think we all expect that Mercedes is going to be in the world title picture at some point and win. But is she going to be the one that beats Tekla? I don't know about that. I think she would probably beat the person whoever the person is that beats Tekla. But I don't know who that is because I don't know who they're building to do that. So yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess, going forward. I mean, Tekla doesn't have any I don't think anybody else has really got to get even with Tekla or anything. So it's going to be about building somebody up now. I just don't know who that would be. Because Sheeta just came back and she's either in the tag title or the TBS picture. Willow's busy.
Yeah.
So who else is there? She's done with Statlander. We're not doing that again. I mean, is it going to be somebody that returns? I mean, I'm not going to say Britt Baker because I don't know what's going on with Britt Baker. Nobody does. So yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess, with the women's title picture. Hopefully they have something in mind, but we'll see. The next match is the Continental Championship match. Jon Moxley defending against Will Ospreay. So I was not surprised by the person who won. I chose Jon Moxley to win solely because we know that Will Ospreay does not need this belt. The only reason that they put this belt on the line was that nobody can interfere.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense now. But I was thinking that when I first thought about they had this match, it was you don't really need this Continental belt because this feud itself is so personal, or at least in Will Ospreay's case, it's very personal. Mm-hmm. But then you realize the Continental rules do allow everybody banned from ringside, so that was an additional bonus because you have at least a fair fight of sorts, and that's what we got. I guess I was more traditional in the thought that I think the blow-off should be that Will should just win this match and the title as an added bonus. I think I was overall disappointed in the outcome because I was just Moxley wins again, and after all of that, 6 months off on the shelf, freaking double screws in his neck and neck surgery. He's never gonna be the same again physically. Mm-hmm. All that stuff, and then all that, and then you just come off. Oh, Moxley wins again. It's just I'm a little tired of Jon Moxley winning all the time now. It's just kind of it is kind of getting stale, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's
I understand that.
or it's just
I mean, I understand that. I understand that from your point of view. It doesn't bother me that much because again, I didn't need Will Ospreay to win this belt. And he pinned Moxley on Wednesday in the 8-man. So when that happened, I was like, oh, okay, Jon Moxley's definitely retaining then because we know where Will Ospreay is going. He's winning the world title either at All In or right before. And most likely he's going to win the Owen and he's going to win the title at All In because All In is in London again. So he doesn't need to be winning secondary titles. I understand that the basis of the feud was him getting his revenge for being taken out by Jon Moxley. But they could still have a physical match that he doesn't need to win. Which is what happened. I mean, the match started off as soon as the bell rang. Will Ospreay hit a hidden blade.
So I thought that starting point was, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then but it was just okay, well, Mox will come back at some point. But it was just wow, they really want to pour the aggression on here. Which I guess when the way the match started made me feel oh, Will's gonna do some pretty amazing stuff here and maybe go over, but
Yeah, and they got the steel steps involved, and Osprey was going to he was going to do something to Mox. He was going to like kick his head into the steps, but Mox reversed that, hit the paradigm shift on the floor, then hit a pile driver on top of the stairs.
Oh my god.
Will Ospreay would of course recover, but there was a great spot where he went to do a springboard into the ring, and Mox just hit a forearm in midair like it was nothing, and to Ospreay, and he reacted like nothing happened. It was it was pretty funny. He hit multiple sleeper suplexes in this match, of course, to work on the neck, I guess. He went to do it on the top rope, but Ospreay flipped out of it. But then he turned that into another sleeper suplex on his feet. And then Ospreay turned that into a sit-out power bomb. He went for the Os Cutter, and there was that great spot that we've seen multiple times in wrestling, and this has been getting this has been getting criticized a lot on social media. There was a spot where Mox hit a paradigm shift, and Ospreay springs up from getting hit with the paradigm shift and hits a hidden blade like right off of that. This is not a new spot. We see this stuff all the time. We saw it in WWE just recently with Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo hit a code breaker, and Ilya Dragunov turned that into, like, while he was selling, he hit the H-bomb. Like, it's not something new that happens in wrestling. This has been happening forever, and people are saying like, "Oh, he's not selling the DDT," but
I didn't hear that. I did find that was a very cool transition, like as a thing. You know, you do the DDT and then you just like kick out immediately, and then you just hit the hidden blade out of nowhere.
Well,
I guess another thing.
It was very big on social media, like specifically yesterday and today, of people being like, "Oh, well, why is he doing that when he should be selling the DDT?" He sells the DDT as soon as he hits the hidden blade because he hits the ground. Like, that's the point of the move. It's psychology. It's like, oh, you sprung up to the point where you got enough adrenaline to answer back, so now both guys are down. It's been happening for years. It's not new.
Yeah. I noticed another thing. Will Ospreay did the Styles Clash.
Yes.
And I jokingly told you offline, oh, in WWE, the Styles Clash is still a finisher.
Yeah.
In AEW, the Styles Clash is a setup hold.
Well, that's like the package pile driver. In AEW, the package pile driver is just a move. In WWE, it's a move that can kill you. That's how WWE treats pile drivers. It's just, and pile drivers are actually pretty safe if you know how to do them. It's not as dangerous.
Yeah, I see many pile drivers where it is very obvious the person's head did not touch the mat at all, and it just looks very, very impactful.
So,
no, but I thought it was funny that like they're using it. They let Dragon Lee win a match with the Styles Clash. Meanwhile, Will Ospreay's doing the Styles Clash every other match, and it's just like it's just a setup hold.
So, a thing that's been happening in AEW for years now that I am getting tired of is the overselling of old injuries. So yes, Will just came back, and he's selling the neck hard, and he's going to be doing that for a while. But I don't need to see him still selling the neck next year. Like, they're doing the same thing with Kenny, and we're going to talk about that. But, like, Kenny is 100%. We don't need to keep saying that he had diverticulitis and that every bump could be his last because of it. Like, he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. anymore. So we don't need to be overselling this injury for years. I'm getting tired of that in AEW. But yeah, so John Moxley would end up winning this match. Of course, Ospreay, after receiving that pile driver on the steel steps, the doctors checked on him to make sure he was okay, and he was like, "Oh, I'm fine." He got back into the ring. He received multiple paradigm shifts, and then the Death Rider, and he lost the match. So yeah, I thought this match was great. Ospreay walked out on his own power, so he's fine. But yeah, we'll see what's next for them. I imagine this feud is over, but maybe they're gonna have a blow off in between now and Double or Nothing. I don't want to see them face each other again at Double or Nothing, but maybe they will. I don't know.
I mean, I just find this whole thing or this whole feud a little perplexing because it was just when John Moxley won this Continental title, he went on this like long rambling promo about how, you know, respect this title, respect everybody who works in the locker room, and like, you know, we're gonna bring honor back to this sport or whatever. You know, one of those like rah-rah speeches. You know, you thought at that point the Death Riders were gonna turn on him, but no, they're just gonna keep going on. And apparently they were gonna turn babyface, and then the Death Riders started doing stuff that made them look kind of like baby faces, somewhat comedic stuff. And then suddenly Will Ospreay comes back in the picture, and suddenly they're bad guys again. At first I understood it. It's just, you know, as in Moxley may have turned over a new leaf, but the demons of his past can catch up to you, or the sins of your past can catch up to you. And it was Will Ospreay. And then it just turned into a thing where he was just like, yeah, we're just the shitty heels again. We're just going to beat you up. So much so that Will had to call his friends in from Japan to do a big brawl in Edmonton or Canada for the whole, like, basically they did their own version of Anarchy in the Arena. But yeah, I just thought it was like this, the way this match ended, I was just like, oh, that wasn't the blow off I thought that would conclude this situation, because I do expect Will Ospreay to move on to the world title picture at some point, and Moxley to move on to whatever.
The Owen Hart is starting, so, and last year the finals were at Double or Nothing, so I imagine whoever's in the Owen Hart, he'll be facing at Double or Nothing.
I mean, maybe finals would be Moxley and Ospreay, and then Ospreay goes over. Well, I've never seen Moxley in the Owen, but I mean,
that is the way you have the rematch without the title on the line, I guess.
Right. Because that will be in a. I don't know if the Owen stipulations are everyone's banned from ringside too, but
I don't remember.
You know, no, but you probably should for something that important.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, I guess we're gonna get the Owen Hart Cup participants soon. But yeah, all right. So we're at the co-main event, and time to talk about the trios titles.
Yeah.
All right. So the Don Callis family won the trios titles from Hangman and Jet Speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Held them for
Jet Set Rodeo.
Held them for 5 days. Then, at the most recent pay-per-view Revolution, they had another title shot, a random title match where Jet Speed just got another shot, but with a different partner. That other partner was Mystico. And they would win. How many times did that team defend these belts?
Once, and they lost them immediately?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess.
I think they defended them.
I didn't even know that. It sounded like that's where you were going.
I'm pretty sure they defended them like one time, and then the second time was them losing.
Yeah.
And that match was against the Dogs.
Yes.
And the Dogs would win the titles the day before this show. On that show, they would randomly attack Orange Cassidy and
Roddy Strong.
Roderick Strong. And after they won the belts, Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy said that they were going to have a third man. We all knew who that was going to be because of where the show took place.
So here's the thing. I actually like the way they introduced. Sorry, I want to say that. I want to talk about this. I like the way they introduced them back in, because it was just like, yeah, it's okay. You could do the typical thing. You could do the whole Ciampa kind of reveal, but it was just like, I don't think that fits what Kyle's doing right now. So they did the thing where Orange is covered up with blankets. He's on a couch. He's asleep. Roddy comes in. Orange! There's a fake door by the entrance. Orange, get up! And he's like, 5 more minutes. And then he's like, we got a match. And then so there's a weird knock on the door. And he's like, opens up. And it's Kyle O'Reilly. And then everybody just starts popping. And then he's looking around. And he's like, did someone say conglomeration? And then they just play the music. And it's like, okay. It was just comedic gold. I was like, that was funny. Okay, I was like, that was funny.
Roddy and Orange were both like, yeah, nobody said that. No, nobody said.
Nobody said conglomeration.
Nobody said
you said conglomeration.
You said conglomeration, not us. So yes, now they. So Kyle O'Reilly's back. We haven't seen him since the Moxley feud, and they just win. A day after the Dogs won the belts, and I shared with you earlier today that they put out a T-shirt. I don't know if this was put out before the pay-per-view or not, but on the shirt, the front says the Dogs, and on the back it says "Greatest Trios Champions Ever."
Yeah, that was a great 24-hour run, or 23-hour and 59-minute run. Man.
Yeah, whatever.
It was like the best.
But this match was fine. Unfortunately, Gabe Kidd would get hurt.
Yeah, he disappeared for like the last half of the match. Something happened outside. You noticed that he was gone. And then you notice it turned into a handicap match effectively.
Yeah, it seemed like something happened with his shoulder or his wrist or something. Because he did confirm that he was hurt. They don't. I don't think how serious it is has come out yet, but I think he is going to miss time based on reports. But I'm pretty sure that the conglomeration was always going to go over here because of the Kyle return. But, like, why are we doing these random short title reigns with the trios titles? Like, we talked about this on the Revolution review. Why did Mystico need to win those belts just because he signed a dual contract?
There was so much fanfare of that. Okay, he won the trios title. It's just like, oh yeah, he also got a contract. And I was saying in that review, they didn't need to win those titles. They were like, oh, we've lost the match. But then look, you got a contract. Oh, it's great. Everybody's Feliciaso. Celebration. But it was like, okay, yeah, that's an added bonus. And then you're telling me that their second title defense, they lost them after only successfully defending them once. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that ride's over. So is Mystico still with the company? Yeah, I'm hoping so.
I mean, yes, I'm pretty sure he.
But then this happened, and it was like even more ridiculous. But it was just like, the timing couldn't be helped. And I did see a bit of the emotional reaction Kyle got backstage after being able to win a title in his hometown and thanking Tony for the opportunity. That was a good moment. So, but yeah, it was just like the only thing that was confusing was just like a 1-day title reign. That was it. So yeah.
So I imagine that the conglomeration is going to hold these for longer, hopefully.
Hopefully. We'll never know.
Maybe have
right?
more than one successful defense. Get in some actual feuds. I mean, they're not going to be feuding.
You can only hope. You can only hope because the track record right now lately has not been good.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be feuding with the Dogs anymore because of Gabe's
Well,
injury.
they could always just bring in like a heater just as a replacement.
Yeah,
Should be plenty of those lying around.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Like we talked about the demand earlier. I feel like this is the perfect spot for them. Now that we got a babyface team holding these belts, I feel like that would be a fun feud. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of groups in AEW, so you could literally go anywhere. And this match was only 10 minutes long. I don't know if they had to go home early because of the injury. They obviously had to call an audible for the finish, but I mean, the main event was almost 40 minutes long, so not like it really mattered. But speaking of the main event, that is where we are now. MJF defending the AEW World Championship against Kenny Omega. And I would like to preface once again, this was not a no DQ match. But that doesn't seem to matter in AEW.
Yeah, it's like, again, we talked about earlier about referees not knowing how to do their jobs. I would think one of the most simplest rules you can figure out is a normal standard match does not involve weaponry, outside interference, foreign objects, all that shit. And yet, we used a lot of these, I think, in this contest.
Of course, Bryce knew that MJF had the ring and took it before the match started. Bryce actually has a brain, unlike the other referees, apparently. But there was multiple tables that were used during this match.
Okay.
And I get that it's referee's discretion, I guess. But, like, again, this was not a no DQ match. It was just a match. It was just supposed to be a wrestling match. And not to say that this match was great. It was an amazing match, as I expected it would be, because it's MJF and Kenny Omega, two of the best wrestlers in the world. And of course, they build this match as the devil versus the god of pro wrestling. The entrances had a very Undertaker, Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25 feel to them.
Yes. Kenny did not descend from heaven, but he looked close to it.
No, but
meanwhile, Max, as expected, emerged from the depths of hell. I think.
Yes.
Not wearing that stupid devil mask he was wearing years ago, but now was sporting like giant ass Conan barbarian horns, I guess.
It was like a jacket with horns, a horned crown, an upside down cross on the jacket. But yeah, this match ruled. Like I said, not surprising. Two of the best wrestlers in the world had an amazing match. And yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of back and forth, a lot of great moments. Kenny Omega did a lot of V triggers, but for some reason he doesn't do this a lot, but like he went for the you can't escape moonsault multiple times in this match, and he doesn't often like repeat spots like that. So, I mean, he successfully did it the first time, and then when he went to do it the second time, I was like, oh, MJF is going to reverse this, because Kenny never does this twice. Ever. And that's exactly what happened. He hit a triangle moonsault in tribute to Kota Ibushi, who is still healing from his injuries. He hit a avalanche one-wing angel.
Ooh.
And that's not something he does very often. And if he had gone for the pin when it happened, I'm sure he would have won the match, because nobody kicks out of the One Wing Angel.
Yeah.
But he was overselling the stomach injury that he's had for over a year and couldn't capitalize on getting the pin. And MJF ended up rolling out before he could get a pin on that move. That's good psychology. That's good in-ring storytelling. And then he goes for it in the standard sense, and MJF reversed it into a crossroads. And after he hit the crossroads, he hit a package pile driver for a near fall. So they're just hitting all these classic moves. MJF pulls the referee in front of Kenny Omega, about to hit another V trigger. So the referee is out. Bryce is dead after getting hit in the face with a knee. While that's happening, of course, MJF goes to get the ring out of the ref's pocket. Kenny is able to thwart this at first, hits another One Winged Angel, and has a pin that lasts over 20 seconds. And then...
Okay, yeah, and this goes to another thing where I'm like, why do wrestlers who know that the referee is out go for a cover anyway?
Yeah.
It's like, you clearly see there's nobody to count.
Yeah.
Count to 20, whatever. Nobody's counting.
I'm not trying to defend it. My guess would be that he thought maybe the ref recovered by now.
Okay, no, but I don't know. It's just that, the whole plot line of that, it doesn't matter what match or who's wrestling. Every time that happens, if you clearly see that the referee's unconscious, that person is not getting up for a long time. The referee is not a wrestler. They're not going to recover that quick after taking a hit. Okay, yeah. I mean, referees have to train to do the refereeing they have to do, but it's just every time I see it, it's just and I'm sorry, I'm going on some tangent here, but it's every time that I see when a ref is down, some idiot thinks they can still get a cover, and they're like, "Oh, where's the referee?" Well, you knocked him out 5 seconds ago. That's what happened.
I think the referee shirt has some magical powers, because whenever a wrestler is a referee and they get knocked down, they end up being knocked down forever. So maybe whenever you put a referee shirt on, you just can't get hit with any moves ever. As mentioned, he hits the One Wing Angel. The crowd counts to 20, and that's when another referee finally comes down, and MJF ends up kicking out. So technically, he kicked out of the One Wing Angel, but that was after being pinned for 20 seconds. So MJF is going to talk up the fact that I was only the second person ever to kick out of the One Winged Angel. He's going to say that a bunch. So at one point, they end up back on the apron. Of course, remember, there's tables just randomly outside. They end up on the apron, and MJF still has the ring on, and he punches Kenny Omega in the abdomen with the ring. Of course, because diverticulitis.
Yeah.
And he uses that to then hit a tombstone off of the apron into the table.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
Then he hits a heat seeker, pile driver, and secures the victory.
Right.
So MJF retains. And this match was very good. It's just the ref stuff is just maddening. And it didn't take away from the match from me per se. I'm not saying this is the best match of the year or anything, but I didn't hate the match. I actually really enjoyed it. I
feel like the last match they had together was when MJF was in his first title run. Yeah. And Kenny and Omega challenged him because he wanted to defend his record as, at the time, the longest reigning AEW World Champion.
Yep.
Which I thought was somewhat more. I thought that match was better. This match, although I did not doubt the outcome, it was it wasn't a bad match. Like I'm not saying, but I'm not saying also I'm not saying it was the match of the year candidate, but it was just sort of like meh. Okay. Like I like the part where Remsburg took the ring in the before it started, but then you're like, okay, he's put it in his pocket. At some point, he's getting knocked out, and MJF's gonna steal the ring again. But as soon as I saw that gut punch with the belt, with the ring, I was like, oh, it's over.
Yep.
Yeah, the tombstone and the heat seeker were just added finishing touches, so it doesn't look like MJF just used the stupid ring to win a match again.
Yeah.
The only cool part I thought was kind of like at Revolution when he defeated Hangman. His Hangman's on the fucking stretcher. He just mounts him and just like flips everybody off, or while there's blood on the camera. MJF goes back on his phone as the devil. He sits down, puts his fucking horn crown back on, and then just lowers back into hell.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was pretty fun. That was a good way to end this show, which is ran way too long.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess now, because of this, like, you know, we are going to get as of this recording, Dynamite is happening tomorrow. Darby Allin and MJF are going to face each other for the world title. I did like how both of those guys, Omega and MJF, said, if Darby beats Andrade, we will give him the title shot, no matter who it was.
Mm-hmm.
That ended up with the title. Do I think Darby will get one over at this time? Because this has been kind of running a long time, ever since AEW started. That Darby can't win the big one. Darby can't beat MJF. I think the last time they faced each other, MJF beat Darby. Probably cheated, but he did it. Darby, by the way, I don't think needs a long title reign.
No.
This could be like a month and a half thing. Probably up until Double or Nothing before MJF gets it back.
Yep.
Is he gonna be the one to go into All In? Maybe, I don't know. But overall, back to what we were talking about with this context of this match. I was like, man, okay, of course MJF was gonna win. I did not doubt that.
No.
It was just I don't know. It just didn't. It just this whole show didn't click to me. Like I said at the beginning, right? Like I just thought, okay, you had all this like Canadian talent here. Like I wasn't expecting Omega to go over. Jericho losing a bit of that was surprising.
Yeah.
Although not now that I think about it, not really. FTR beating Cope and Cage was what I was like, WTF? Okay, that was not. So I'm like, okay, I guess Kyle's obviously going over, but it was just like overall, like, meh. I'm like, I don't know. I just felt like deflated a bit afterwards. I just didn't think this whole pay per view was that exciting. It wasn't like Revolution, right? Like when I joked to you at Revolution, oh, everybody came back. Eddie Omega, Will Ospreay, everybody was just showing up. This one was just more like, it's a filler. It's a filler for also, whatever's coming up next.
There was no Swerve. There was no Brody. That like some guys that have been like in the limelight recently, just not here at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to what you were saying about Darby, I do think that he is going to win on Wednesday. And then MJF just wins it right back at Double or Nothing. But yeah, I don't know if MJF after that holds it until All In to face Ospreay, because I don't know if that's the match you want to do again. I've heard talk of maybe Omega winning it at some point to set up Ospreay versus Omega at All In again, because we haven't seen that match in a long time. In 2 years, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I think definitely Ospreay is winning the Owen. Definitely Ospreay is going to face the champion at All In. That's definitely not going to be Darby, like you said. Darby doesn't need a long title reign. He just needs to win it in Seattle on Dynamite, in the town that he was trained in And, Tony Khan loves Darby. He wants Darby to be his Sting, which is fine. I don't dislike Darby. I think Darby's great. Um, but yeah, Darby does not, and we don't need every single world title reign to be 8 months long. Darby can have a short reign because he can defend it like 2 times on Dynamite and Collision before the pay per view if they want to solidify his reign in a month. And then just losing it back to MJF at Double or Nothing, that's fine. He was still a world champion. That's all that matters. But it is kind of odd that he would beat Kenny Omega but then lose to Darby. But that's fine. But yeah, overall, I didn't dislike this pay-per-view. It's just Dynasty has always felt like that show that happens in between the big shows. Like, literally, we had Revolution, then this, and then we're going to Double or Nothing, which is their second biggest show of the year. So, it always does feel like a filler pay-per-view, but there always ends up being like 1 or 2 really good matches on it. And of course, that's where Swerve got crowned for the first time. So
it is kind of weird not to see Swerve. I think the last time I saw him was at Revolution, and then I don't know. You may have told me already, but did he get injured or something? Because I don't know what happened to him.
No, he lost. He lost that match to Kenny.
Right, he lost the number 1 contender spot, and that was it. So he's just
gone. So I think he just. I did read that he went to film something or something. I don't know if it was a movie or if it was just like he's doing some press for the company or like maybe he's just doing other things. But they probably have some kind of story in place for him to come back.
I mean, you look at it, you had that thing where Swerve returned, and then he was like basically paired with Hangman, not in a tag team, but it was just like very cool because they didn't look at each other. But they had a mutual thing because they wanted to beat up, what was it? Who was it? MJF at the time, I guess. Maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman loses the match, loses his right to compete for the world title. Swerve lost the number 1 contender spot. They're both gone. I feel like a good way for them to be put back on screen is to pair them off as like heels who have been basically feel wronged by the company, and they're just gonna run roughshod over everybody again. And it's a more formal alliance this time.
Well, yeah, and we don't know when Hangman's coming back either. I mean, I imagine.
Yeah. They basically, I mean, it's gonna be some time because this is such a traumatic thing that he can no longer wrestle for the world title. So, like, how the hell do you put him back in and do what? Right?
I imagine, like, maybe we don't even see him until after Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's not going to be in the Owen again. I don't know, because technically, him not challenging for the world title is a verbal agreement, not a like set in stone thing. So I think down the line, he will obviously find a way to get back into the world title picture. It just can't happen right away. It's got to be some time before that happens. So we'll see. But yeah, overall, I thought like Dynasty was not a bad show. It was just not the best show. And I loved the Young Bucks match. I loved the Andrade Darby match. I loved the Ospreay Moxley match. And I thought the main event was very good. So, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. Obviously, like we said, this coming Dynamite is going to be a big one. World title match, TNT title match, TBS title match, all on the same show. So we got pending returns of Mercedes, Swerve, Hangman, a lot of people that are missing right now that are going to inject some new life into some things. And yeah, we're building to the second biggest show of the year. We're getting at the Owen soon. So I imagine we'll get participants for that soon. And we'll see what happens. But yep, that is going to do it for us. Obviously, we are recording this during WrestleMania week. It is the least excited I've been about WrestleMania in a long time. So I'm hoping I don't hate it.
I mean, well, we could take this offline to discuss because this was mostly about the AEW pay-per-view. But yeah.
But yeah, we will see what happens. Enjoy the rest of the week. There's a lot of wrestling this week, not just WrestleMania. So that is going to do it for us, everybody. Thank you. Have a good one.